I wonder if we can play OmniTell in Vintage if we use the FLS shell. Okay, welcome back, Vintage Gamers, to a Wednesday night on-stream league. So we're always going to push the boundaries of what is playable in Vintage. Tonight we're going back to one of my all-time favorites in OmniTell. It's a deck I really enjoy in Legacy. I played it at Eternal Weekend in Europe and North America last year. And it's a deck that I always find is close to playable in Vintage, especially depending on the number of Pyroblasts in the format. And Flow State is a nice little tool to add on to this deck. I really liked how Stock Up and Lorien Revealed made the Omniscience always feel like it was going to get you somewhere. And we're going to try now the FLS package that we've been playing across multiple archetypes in other decks. This is a pretty neat fit because we have the Full Moxen suite already. Basically, Full Moxen in this deck kind of replace Ancient Tomb because you have this off-color fast mana ramp, and that means you can focus pretty heavily on basic island. Here I'm going to try to even avoid playing Demonic Tutor and black spells and try to get a very clean, as many islands as possible shell. Basically mono blue, but we're going to try a bit of a sideboard red splash. I think if the sideboard red splash isn't actually good, which is possible, then you could even go like super island heavy and actually not even worry about Wasteland, which would be pretty cool as well. So yeah, this is Show and Tell. We are going to use our Show and Tell to put into play Atraxa or Omniscience, sometimes Omniscience and then casting Atraxa. Currently, I'm going to play 4 Force of Wills and no negations, but you could play negations if you want to really use the FLS shell. But the problem is negations is not really protecting your Show and Tell on your turn, so it's only really defensive. I didn't like that very much. And also, to make the FLS shell work, you do need a certain number of 1 mana instants that you can play to go along with your forces. Something without having like a ton of negations in my deck, I might not actually hit the instant count needed for Flow State, which could be pretty problematic as well. That would be, the case if you were to do something like taking out these Flusterstorms and then play other cards, then you can run into that problem. So we tried to address that problem with Flusterstorms and Mystical Tutor, Ancestral Brainstorm, Mental Misstep, Flash. Getting to play Merchant Scroll Flash is one of the big upsides of playing the full 4 Atraxas. Flash is just an insane magic card, and you're already going to want these Atraxas in your hand to begin with, so it draws you a million bajillion cards. And then, of course, like I said, we have a little bit of a sideboard pivot here with our Red Splash. With our Red Splash, I have a 4 Hexing Squelcher sideboard. So the idea is we are stranding opponent's main deck removal. They will not really have a target for... They will definitely have no target for Fatal Push. They won't really have a target for swords. Obviously, you can Swords and Atraxa, but you should be winning most games where your Atraxa gets sorted. I guess one thing here is I don't actually have a good answer to a Caracas, but I don't know if that's an actual issue. I might want to Strip Mine, but I don't know how to fit that. Something to consider. If I add a Strip Mine or something, I will put it in the deck or in the round 1. But I do want to have an answer to Caracas, possibly because of mono white. We'll see. But anyways, the idea here is we're stranding main deck removal, and then once our opponent goes to sideboarding, where they board out their removal, then we board in the Hexing Squelcher to attack their counter spells, and from there we can, that it's going to really make it hard for the opponent whether they want to keep in, dead removal spells. We could board the Squelchers in, then board the Squelchers out. Lots of different options there in terms of stranding opponents' removal spells. And this is another thing where if we were to play Hexing Squelchers in the main or something, then you would lose out on those Flusterstorm spots. And, that's pretty problematic. So, yeah, that's the idea anyways. If anyone asks why we don't have Squelchers in the main, is because that would just be turning on our opponent's removal. And that's one of the things I value extremely highly right now in Vintage, is playing decks that, you need so much removal to beat mono white, to beat Frog. If you can play a deck that takes all those removal spells and strands them in your opponent's deck, it's really powerful. I played a league off stream where I played a Frog deck, which I don't normally play. And the games I lost were a lot of the games where I had 2 Fatal Pushes in my hand that I drew in game 1. And my opponents just didn't have any targets for them, and they just were useless, and I didn't have the right cards to win. So I do have a Tinker here. I don't think this is a Tinker Citadel deck. It's almost impossible to actually get strong use out of the mana cost is actually just too high, I think, to play Will of the Citadel. But I do want to have like some better answers against mono white initiative, and so the fact that I have Show and Tell already makes Show and Tell Portal an option, and Tinker Portal is obviously still good as well. So I have a Tinker Portal here for mono white initiative. I have some Pyroblasts because they're just like super strong against the flow state stock up decks, and they're one of the reasons to play red. I don't think you necessarily have to play red. If you wanted, you could just change these Pyroblast into Mystical Disputes or Flusterstorms, and they're probably a very similar power level. But we are already playing red to try to play Hexing Squelcher, so I'm going to play some Pyroblasts. And then Consigns, because the best performing decks in the field right now are Jewel Shops and Raker Shops. Those are the two best performing decks in the field, basically. And then I do have a Heartless Recall. We do have the Merchant Scroll that we can go tutor for it versus Sphere Shops, which is lying around. I'm going to probably make a couple quick adjustments here to adjust some of the problematic permanents like Caracas, and then we will play round 1 of this on-stream Wednesday night Vintage League. I am happy to announce the dates for high-stakes, proxy-friendly Vintage in 2026. The legendary NYSE returns to Long Island in New York on June 6th. This $500 entry fee tournament will pay out 8 pieces of unlimited power. The Oklahoma Land Run returns in 2026 on July 10th through 12th at the Reed Convention Center in Oklahoma City. Play Friday Team Trios, Saturday Legacy for a Mox Sapphire, and Sunday Vintage for a Mox Emerald. Event links can be found in the description below. I hope to see you there. Let's battle. Okay, here we go. Round 1 up against Morsa. See what kind of Lurrus deck Morsa's testing today. Chat says you're chat. Morsa says you're wrong. Whatever you're talking about. Don't know that this hand is particularly great, but I need to try a certain range of hands and a certain range of keeps here, so I don't actually think Hamlet is goated versus Bazaar. Hamlet is a card you have to play before Bazaar comes down, and I don't think that's good enough. No, I haven't really seen any good results with Hamlet. I don't think, I think it's a bit overhyped. I'm gonna Flusterstorm this. I actually think it's like better in Bazaar than it is against Bazaar. Oh, wow. This is an incredible draw, chat. This is a sorcery. So a free sorcery to turn on flow state immediately. Opponent has Negation, Brainstorm, Lavinia, Force, and Lorien. We finally drew a Force, but Lavinia is a problem. Lavinia is a huge problem. Lavinia is a huge problem for our main deck. We don't really have good answers to Lavinia. I mean, I guess an Atraxa is a pretty good answer off of Show and Tell, but does stop Omniscience. I, in general, try not to worry about Lavinia because I don't think Lavinia is a very good card, but sometimes it comes around. Opponent has to consider if they want to negate or force our flow state here. Also, opponent doesn't have a land until they use this Lorien revealed, so they're a little going to be interestingly tight on blue cards here. Brainstorm goes, Negation goes. So if they Lorien revealed for a land and play Lavinia, they have to draw a blue card to be able to counter back. And again, getting our flow state 2-for-1 is a pretty good deal. Yeah, but I don't want to put Emrakul in my deck. Emrakul is not a card I'm interested in playing in my vintage deck. I want to play 4 Atraxas and Flash. I'm just going to pitch the Omniscience in case this gets forced back. They drew a blue card for turn. So my opponent went down to 0 cards to resolve Lavinia. So they have Tundra, Lavinia, nothing else. We need to draw a land to play our stock up. Or a land to play our Show and Tell. That'll do it. These are not the cards we wanted to draw. Though we do have a whole mess of 0 mana artifacts as well. Seal of Cleansing. Okay. All right. Opponent is ready for the Omni Show matchup. What? The plan is just show and tell on Atraxa into play. Huh? I mean, it's not GG because, like, again, I can't put the Omniscience in play and then cast Atraxa off of it because Lavinia would counter it and they would Seal of Cleansing it. But I can just put Atraxa in play, and so my opponent has to draw swords, and we get a whole new bin full of stuff here. We have Flusterstorm is better than Force because we can't cast Force into Lavinia. This is our only land. This is a stock up. We'll take a Lotus even though it doesn't currently do anything, and we'll take an Atraxa. I mean, if they just draw Ancestral into swords, like, they can easily keep up with this. I don't know what you're talking about. This game is not over. And we, like, if they immediately turn around and find Swords of Plowshares, like, we have to rebuild again. We have to find another show and tell. So if they don't, we'll have the Flusterstorm, and then we'll probably be in a great spot. So I can't stock up this turn because I want to hold open Flusterstorm. So it's a little unfortunate. This Lavinia is, like, extremely good against our deck specifically. So you got to give it its flowers here. It's very good against all of the things we're doing. It'll get less good post board when we bring in some Squelchers. So, but then we'll have to fetch red sources into Wastelands. So it'll be interesting. I want to see another land on. Oh, I think I'll take that for sure. All right, so now we have a way to beat somehow a resolved swords. We have another show and tell Atraxa afterwards. Low state. I think I'll just Flusterstorm this because we have the extra answer, and this is going to really tempo them here. And then we still have a stock up on our next turn anyways. We have one more Flusterstorm. Oh, we're out of Flusterstorms. Well, we're almost at Hardcast Force as well. There's a land and a flow state. And I'll take a Force this time off flow state if we can get to it. Tolarian Academy. I don't think so. Well, it's a lot better now, for sure. I guess it's just flow state, and then I'll pitch Mana Crypt to hand size. I don't know. All right, got there. So opponent played maybe one of the single best hate pieces against what we were doing in this game, and we just win anyways. I kind of wish I had more Flusterstorms. But now we have Pyroblast as removal for Lavinia, so it gets a lot better. We'll also bring in all these Hexing Squelchers because opponent looks like they're going to be pretty heavily based on counter spells. And then we have to find cards to move out is going to be a problem. Well, I mean, they can just, like, flow state into land, land swords. Like, there's a lot of draw in the deck. I think it's, like, a pretty reasonable to say that we were not out of the woods there. How do we board here? I don't know. I don't know how to board here. How can we possibly fit these cards into our deck? Do we just take out our own forces? It doesn't seem like that makes a lot of sense. Not in this scenario. I think that's not unreasonable, Killer Switch. I think taking out some amount of our off-color Moxen is not unreasonable. But we will have the ability to play them through Lavinia with Hexing Squelcher. So I don't know. I really just don't know. Maybe we trim down on an Omniscience, at least. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, not me. We did also see Seal. I think I'll trim down 3, and then I'll play 4 and 1. That kind of feels like it makes sense. I mean, they're almost certainly a Wasteland deck. They're almost certainly a Wasteland deck, but we're gonna getting rid of Saga doesn't make a lot of sense because we're gonna be fetching Volcanics to cast these red cards anyways, so it's not like we're going to be able to dodge that. I think I'm going to take out the Emerald and the Pearl. We have to be a little careful because like our mana base does want to have like a certain amount of these things. I'm gonna go down to 1. You're right. They could have Containment Priest, though. We don't actually have removal for Containment Priest, so we kind of do need some amount of Omniscience, don't we? So maybe the answer is, I think that's a reasonable point. I'm not super light on mana sources. I think I'm already like pretty high on mana sources. Maybe I'll just take out... I mean, this is like a lot of mana sources to take out. The answer may be just like too many flow states or something. Let's just do something like this and see how it plays. Don't know the answer. I don't like how bad that mapping was. Another reason to maybe not play all of these Squelchers. It's tough though, because like we have so many 4-ofs, and I don't exactly know how we're supposed to trim, so. We did talk about how, yeah, Containment Priest. I don't have any actual like straight up removal for Containment Priest, but you do still have like Omniscience, right? So it's a little weird. But we don't want to, and then we wanted to trim some Omniscience, so it's tough. It's tough. I don't see myself mulliganing this, but it certainly is light on lands. Could be a problem. I really don't want to like be bringing in removal if I can help it. All right, that's a good draw. Some say it's our best draw. I should keep my fetch as long as I can, because we do want a red source to play Squelcher, but we also don't want to get wastelanded. They've been to Snapcaster Mage. No Lavinia. Well, I think I'm going to go get that Thundering Falls so we don't draw it, and we're going to use it to play our Hexing Squelcher anyways. Don't see any reason to wait. Pyro. Yeah, I think Pyro's... This is another reason I don't like the red splash, is like, I'm not going to play a mountain in my deck. This deck does not want a mountain. I think I'd rather just try to find a land. I'm going to bin this. Flow State and Stock Up pair really well together with off-color Moxen, and Lorien Revealed is the reason. Legacy doesn't have off-color Moxen, so the cards get worse. They just kept in Swords to Plowshares versus my Hexing Squelcher. Okay. I'll force this, pitching the Stock Up because we can't currently cast it. Let's hope we don't get wastelanded here. Don't have a sorcery in our yard currently either for Flow State. Definitely not attacking with this Squelcher. Too risky. Here's a flash. That's probably what we want to do. Are they going to swords and counter this? Oh, they have a Containment Priest. Okay. Yeah. Guess I won't be doing that. So we need to find an Omniscience, and we have 3 of them in our deck. We still don't have a sorcery in our yard. So we're just playing against true blue-white Lurrus control. That sounds like an abysmal time. Especially with opponent keeping in swords against us. And didn't have the ability to Flusterstorm that. It's going pretty badly. We just don't have enough mana. We brought, we draw 1 card that could have been a Mox, and then we got wastelanded. Looks pretty bad. Don't think I'm ever blocking there with this much mana at the moment. We are in trouble. Pretty sure we're lost. We didn't get any resolve any draw spells. Maybe I should have just cast Flow State for Anticipate. I got Strip Mind. Of course I got Strip Mind. That's incredible. Mm-hmm. I mean, it probably isn't looking for a piece that wins the game. It's looking for a land because we're gonna get wasted out of this game. Thankfully, the blue-white deck does not have a sufficient clock in the deck at all. I think this is enough to be worth it. I could have just cast this in my upkeep and it would have resolved, but... The big question is, are we going to play Hexing Squelchers in game 3, where our opponent is already keeping in swords versus us? We might have to because of Lavinia's. Yeah, I think we're pretty dead here. They have Force Sync. Saga Gaming is a Lotus in a couple turns. I should have attacked, but whatever. They drew Wasteland off the top. Unbelievable. Bro, I just want to not play red cards. I just want to play 5 islands. Is that too much to ask? Is it too much to ask to just play 5 islands in our deck? I just lose every game to getting Wastelanded in my monocolor deck, you know? This is another reason I really just don't like the Squelcher Splash. I had to fetch red to play Squelcher and then an extra Wasteland target for no reason. Don't know what my avenue out of this is at this point. I have 3 basics, but you have to... Yeah, but you're playing a mountain, man. I'm never fetching a mountain. A mountain is horrible here. Look, it doesn't cast any of my spells. It doesn't cast anything, man. I want islands. I want 5 islands. And all fetches and islands. I want to cut Academy. I want to cut Saga. Just give me all basic islands. I don't know. I think I'm going to just board these Squelchers back out. Get these Moxen back in on the play. And focus on doing my thing. Keep the Pyros. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to cast Blood Moon. That's not a very good magic card. Imagine you cast Blood Moon and your opponent's just like, cool, Lorien Revealed Island. Or even better, Pearl Lorien Revealed Island. Did you count Lorien Revealed CRK? Did you count the Lorien Revealed? I did the math. Our mana is fine. The problem in that game was our draw spell got countered by Containment Priest. That was the problem in that game. Yeah, so we're not sure. Like 14, 24, 25. Like we have just a million mana. Oof, man. This hand's pretty reasonable. But unfortunately, I'm gonna get wastelanded. It's a tough matchup. It happens. Sometimes someone loads up with Lavinia control. Sure. Sure. Hardcast negation. Fantastic. I'm getting turn 1 Lavinia with hardcast negation back up. What a life. And I'm getting strip mined. It's not meant to be, chat. Sometimes it's not meant to be. I guess we get wastelanded. You got it. We'll get that Thundering Falls. Try to get us to lands. Don't think I'm allowed to keep that. Yeah, I feel like I have to play my lands out here. Don't feel like I can try to bounce this or whatever. Doesn't seem very good. I probably just have to play Hexing Squelchers because of Lavinia, but like getting turn 1 Lavinia is such a low percentage chance of happening. It's extremely low percentage. I don't know. It all just feels bad because like all of our options just don't feel very good. So do I play around negation? Probably. They just have force anyways. Okay. Okay. That's not bad. I need to wait till their end stuff, I think. I don't want to get like a second Lavinia. Are they going to play Containment Priest here? We do need to draw a spell to cast off of this Omniscience, but... Alright, I'd like to kill your Lavinia. Another problem with Lavinia. What is that? Oh, Containment Priest. That's fine. Okay, alright, alright. It's my time. Do we stock up first? Or we just jam? They can still have negation after all this. I think we stock up first. We have a little bit of interesting. So if we take Mox, we can jam a show and tell here. And have Lorien revealed after. Probably would have just been better to play just cast show and tell, huh? I think we'll just go with Time Walk Lorien and try to Time Walk into a force or something. So we can like theoretically... Yeah, I think I just do that. Also, I don't get my show and tell dazed. Imagine we win this game. Holy shit. GG's! Spell Pierce Bluster! Oh, they played the Containment Priest. Oh. Our deck's broken, I guess. I can't think of a more hateful deck you could possibly have played, Morsa. It's just a nightmare scenario. And we just pull a little cheeky one here. Hand was horrible. Lotus backed up, turn 1 Lavinia, strip mine Wasteland. Brother, that counters my whole entire deck. GG's. I mean, if we beat that deck, what deck can't we beat? All right, let's try this again. That looks reasonable. Am I crazy to think I'm supposed to play stock up, not ancestral? Oh, never mind. My opponent played Chancellor. I mean, I don't even think Bilbo's is like... Bilbo's a frog, right? It has to attack. And it's not as good at frog as not dying when it attacks. Well, I can't cast either stock up or ancestral because my opponent played a Chancellor. So I think I'm gonna make them have a I think I'm gonna make them have a Wasteland here. Chrome Mox. Mox Pearl. Wasteland. Wasteland Void Mirror? Bro, I'm just gonna play against mono cards that stop Omniscience. Oh, Thalia. That is a card you can register. All right. Thalia it is. Stop me from playing stock up. Ancestral Recall, target myself. Am I willing to look at their hand and get a fresh card for 2 life? Probably. Void, they do have a Void Mirror as well. And Witch Enchanter Seasoned Engineer. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, I hope we're going to try to put an Atraxa into play off a Show and Tell and hope that's good enough. Oh, what did they draw? They just put the 3 damage. Oh, they need 3 damage to play the Void Mirror, right? Oh, they played a White Plume instead. Okay. Though I guess the Thalia does not combo with the Void Mirror, so it actually doesn't stop Omniscience. This card is not playable, man. I need to convince people that Thalia is not a playable Magic card. I don't know why people keep putting it in their decks. I drew the Show and Tell. I can't play the Omniscience here, though. Oh, wait, it's non-creature spells. Wait, so I can play the Show... Wait, no, because they'll put the Void Mirror in. So I can't play the Show and Tell on Omniscience here. Because if they put the Void Mirror in, that would counter the Atraxa. I don't think I can risk that. But if they put the Seasoned Engineer in, do we get raised? We might just get raised. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could play an Abrade. I don't know. Seems fine. Oh, there's a Time Walk if we make it to the next turn here. I mean, are we dead on the next attack shot? Oh, they didn't go down the... What? They went down the Lost Well? I don't understand, chat. Don't know what happened. Why'd they go down the Lost Well? Shouldn't they go down Forged Trap? Because they have an unblockable thing here? I'm so confused. Wouldn't we have died? We would have gone to 8, and then they would have hit me for 5, 6. And then we could die to Mana Crypt. But now we're just alive. 50-50, so I would have died. True. True. So true. Thank you, chat. Paying costs. Void Mirror, sure. Again, Void Mirror? Thalia, not a combination. Oh, I forgot I got an island off that. Probably didn't need to get the other thing. I lost both flips, by the way. I'm definitely forging. I need the life. So I think I just hold open, hard cast force, stink sink. The only way we lose this game is a Caracas off the top, right? So if I bounce this, does it help me? I don't think it matters. I need to be able to bounce like an Archon that blocks or something. All right. I feel like... Oh, they could explore Caracas there, right? Caracas would definitely win the game. It was such a weird spot because I couldn't like go show and tell Omniscience, even though I could play through the Thalia because... Oh, what a weird spot. What a weird game. Yeah, but like, I guess if they have swords in their main, I don't know. So are we bringing in Needle for Caracas? Is that something I have to do? That feels pretty bad. Are we bringing in Hexing Squelcher to play through Void Mirror, or are we just hoping that they Thalia us? uh, just pray for some Thalias. I might bring in some Squelchers. They attack. Though we have to fetch a Volcanic, which is kind of the problem here. But hard to cast Flow State in the matchup, so... It doesn't really contest the initiative because I have no way to remove their creatures, right? Like, if they put an initiative creature down, my Hexing Sculpture can never actually take the initiative. So I don't really think that's a true statement. Might be better than Flow State, though. It's just, we'll bring Summon. How about that? Feels weird. I don't know. I don't really like it. I don't really like it. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. That one is... I mean, I feel like it's a keep. I don't have, like, a lot of interaction. I have 4 forces. Cavern. Pearl Opener. Cleric. Initiative creature or... Oh, no, he's a Peacekeeper. Void Mirror. Okay. And Vexing Bauble. Okay. You got it. Volcanic Island. Soul Ring for a blue. Okay, maybe the answer is like trim Omniscience or play all 4 Squelchers then. I don't know. Feels really weird. All right, follow up White Plume. Hopefully they play a Thalia for us. Really, I need a Thalia. Yeah. There's my Hexing Squelcher. And Show and Tell. I just have to hope I don't get wastelanded. I have to hope I don't get wastelanded, I guess. Also, though, hope I don't get Archon of a Myriad. There's a lot of things. Basically, my opponent has to play like an initiative creature here and no wasteland and nothing. Ugh, fuck. Yeah. Yeah, that's about right. I go to what here? I go to 10, and then I go to 3, and then I go to 2. I mean, I don't even have enough, though, right? Even if I draw a land, it's not enough. Dragon. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. My deck was a little too clumsy on the draw here. Maybe on the play. I feel like Needle is so bad. I guess a Needle on Wasteland would have been reasonable there. Let's take out this Merchant Scroll. Try this, I guess. Should we play Hurgle's Recall so we can bounce their Void Mirrors? It doesn't seem good enough. I don't really like that idea. Being on the play should be a big game changer. See how it goes. I thought we were going to be able to build our way out of that one, but the Wasteland was daggers. What is this nonsense? It's so weak. Surely I'm supposed to put this back for something stronger. Has a force and a basic. Time Walking Moxen. I want to try it, but I could see putting this back for something stronger. But it has a force on the play with an island. I think it's okay. They started the game with a Chancellor. All right, well, we can play versus that here. I don't think I'm allowed to counter a Chrome Mox. Maybe I just have to. That's not happening. I think we should get rid of the Brainstorm or one of the stock ups. I'm never gonna cast 2 stock ups here, right? All right. Well, you also have a Mana Crypt. They have a Cavern, so I'm glad we countered the Black Lotus. Good play from me. Do you have also have a Void Mirror? No. And they have an Archon on the way. Lorien revealed. Start with a Time Walk here. And then we'll draw and see what we get. Lorien revealed. Let's Brainstorm. Don't like this. I mean, if we assume land Archon, there's kind of no point in having force, so... No land drop. Ah, classic mono white. Counter one thing. What do I have on top? Another Lorien revealed. Cycle that away. Do we have any 1-mana blue spells left in our deck? We have Mysticals still and Ancestral, so we want to use our Volcanic then. Unless we hit Mox and then Squelcher. Ancestral Ruby. Stock up. Force. That was our first spell of the turn. It's probably just stock up Ancestral in case we miss on the Ancestral. Okay. Trying to think of a world where playing this Mana Crypt is good versus bad. Why would this Mana Crypt be bad? I think we're supposed to play the Mana Crypt. Should be in a great spot, even if opponent hits land Archon here. I guess until we get Krakist. Well, we could actually, because we played a Mana Crypt, we could actually sink the Archon if we wanted to. I think we're just going to show our Atraxa here. Light of Day. I guess it's a good thing we have a Sink and a Super in our deck. Holy shit. How does this keep happening, man? How does it keep happening? Oh, God. I just keep getting Light of Dade. It's okay. I can Portal to Phyrexia their creatures and attack with them. So what do I want off of this? I mean, I want Omniscient, Portal, unless I draw Tinker. Oh, I believe it's for Blue-Black Lurrus, actually. Blue-Black Lurrus has a hard time beating it. Island, Flow State. Done. All right. XJ, were you here for the Thalia let us win the game? Or did you miss that one? Another Cavern. Okay. For Cleric. Oh, should I bounce this Light of Day so that I can block the Archon? Wait a second. Oh my god. Bounce your Light of Day. Watch they swords my Archon. Oh! No. We got gamed. They kept in swords versus us. Classic. They kept in swords versus us. Now you can't play any more spells. You can't play any more spells. Nope, nope, no, no, no. Read your cards. Read your cards. Oh, man. They kept in swords versus us. Thundering Falls. Getting there. Getting there. They know we have Portal, for what it's worth. We do need to be able to force their Light of Day, probably. I mean, we don't really need to be able to force their Light of Day. Yo, what up, Tony? Thanks for the raid. Just, stocking up here. Atraxa, Mystical. Mystical seems good. You can go get a show. Another Omniscience is not necessary. All right, opponent, what's your plan? I am 1 mana off of hard cast Portal to Phyrexia. Oh, what a game. So Atraxa better than Lorien. I don't have any more lands to search. I believe I have 0 lands I can search with Lorien. Cleric. Uncounterable Cleric is the card they're casting here. That's fine. I feel like we're show and telling a Portal here, right? Because that just beats Light of Day straight up anyways. And we can't cast a second spell off of Omniscience immediately. Bam. Low state. I don't have anything I can get off this fetch. I guess Tinker is a card I can fetch. I can tinker away my Mana Crypt for a Black Lotus later, and I can use it as a blue card for Force. I'm glad I put the Portal in my deck. Too funny. Unfortunately, we're not able to steal the initiative and then get the initiative again with the White Bloom. What do you got? Witch Enchanter. Not uncounterable, though. Unlucky. Do I care about being able to tinker away my Mana Crypts? I guess I could maybe do that. Wait, I can Witch Enchanter and kill the Light of Day. I can rebuy the Witch Enchanter, kill the Light of Day. We're never going to attack with a black creature anyways, but I can steal the initiative and then get another initiative later with that. At least we're gaming tonight. Our matches have been a little wild. All right, welcome to round 3. 2-0 with our OmniTell deck. Ancient Tomb. Grim Monolith. Pass. Can we get a nice... Okay. All right, I'm down. Let's go. Fire away. Now, if my opponent forces this, what are we doing? If my opponent forces this, we have to pass, right? We just have to pass back and then counter their payoff. Because if we pitch Flow State and play Omniscience and our opponent just untaps and kills us, it's like incredibly bad, right? I think that's true. We need this Lotus Petal to be a Lorien reveals, you know? Saga Gaming. I assume a Jewel's coming. All right, our Flow State is back online. But there is a Saga Gaming. There's the Lorien revealed. We have instant and sorcery in our yard. Cast Flow State. There's the new Omniscience and more Moxen. If I take the Ruby, I could cast Lorien next turn. I guess I could take anything. I could cast Lorien next turn. So I guess I'd rather just have the Volk. Pitch, flow, stick, Omniscience? That's just losing the game. Trust the... It's not that I don't trust my deck to win the game. I don't trust my opponent's deck not to instantly kill me. My opponent is not keeping Ancient Tomb, Monolith, Force with no payoff on turn 2. Colorless payoff, you know? I think you always pitch Omniscience there every time. And trust that we have to play... we're fine here. This is no problem. Show me your secrets. They have another Force of Will, but they have no blue card for it. Odawara Talon Gates. We gotta be careful. They can get Vexing Bobble off this saga. Oh, daggers. Hmm. Well, hopefully they like draw a blue card this turn and don't get Vexing Bobble because they want to be able to force. Nope, they got Vexing Bobble. We need help. We need a lot of help. We need Atraxa. That gets Talon Gates, though, actually. We probably just lose through Atraxa. Every game we've played in this league, someone's played a card that says Omniscience doesn't do anything. That's pretty crazy. Sync. That's an interesting Magic card. How do I reconcile that? Is this a... Is this a hold on to it to try to bounce Bobble? Or is this a kill a construct so that we can try to play the game? I think we have to cast it this turn because we need our mana to cast anything we find off the top, really. If we draw a show and tell immediately, it doesn't actually help us because we don't have a payoff again in terms of drawing. We buy multiple turns if we sink a construct. And our deck is full of... It's full of action. And my opponent might crack the Bobble if we play show and tell, assuming that we're going to put in a Atraxa, right? Here's the flow state. There's the Omniscience, the Atraxa, but there's no... We're almost hardcast Force. No show yet. Hopefully we bought ourselves enough time here. Also, are we almost at cast Atraxa? What do we need, a white mana? We can't get a white mana, though, because of Vexing Bobble. We need our own Talon Gates. That'd be a pretty cool card to play in this deck. You could find it off Atraxa. Makes all colors of mana. Gets wastelanded. Lorien revealed. All right. Talon Gates Lavinia, yeah. Draw 3 again. There's the white source. All right, we found the show and tell. So Do we think the opponent will crack the ball? I mean, we can. It doesn't matter, right? If opponent cracks the bobble, we have force backup. And if they crack the bobble, we just go omniscience. I think we made the right call on sinking the construct. We needed the time that it gave us. Oh, maybe they're just going to metamorph me. They let it resolve, so maybe they just have a jewel. Lodestone Golem. That will let me force. So I can use Saga. So I'm gonna take Saga. Well, I just mean on their next turn they can clone my thing. Oh, wait, they have enough damage to win with the Talon Gates? They need to hit a land? No, they can just play the land. Oh, wait, we're just dead to Talon Gates. That's crazy. They can just play Talon Gates and we lose because they had a Lodestone Golem in their hand? That's wild. Man, Talon Gates is so good. That's so frustrating. There's nothing I can do about it, right? There's just nothing I can do about it. I just hope they don't do it, which is impossible. Damn, bro. Who's playing Lodestone Golem in Jewel? How did that even happen? Oh, man. Oh, I don't even have the Saga, so I can't actually play a force. Game 1 Lodestone Golem out of Jewel. That's crazy work. Man. Another card that stops omniscience. Oh, man. We came close to coming back there. That was crazy. We're getting bullied. I'm not gonna lie to you. Obviously we won our first 2 rounds, but I don't think omniscience is viable. Everything seems to hate on it. This needle comes in, and what else? How are we supposed to win with this stuff through Jewel? I guess we probably need Squelchers, right? I mean, Squelchers are not good against Jewel. We don't need those to resolve our spells. We just need to resolve our spells. This card's just... I don't know, man. None of our cards are great besides this Consigns, right? It's just Consigns. I feel like Flusters are so bad. The fact that we have to play Show and Tell as the only way our deck functions is not ideal. There's a reason that Oath deck has Oaths and Show and Tells, so you can take out Show and Tells in the Jewel matchup. Hull Breachers in the board. I'm not playing fucking Hull Breachers. That card is embarrassing. I don't like that card. We don't have enough counter spells to be the control deck. We need more counter spells if we want to be the control deck. We have no negations, no traps. Yeah, I mean, Hull Breacher is just not a good Magic card. Especially when all of the blue decks in Vintage are designed to go around draw effects. It's like only good against Raker and Jewel, and you're already going to crush Raker. Like, the Raker matchup can't be possible. We have 2 Consigns in our deck. So, like, I don't like playing a card that is only playable for Jewel. Like, that's not a good use of my sideboard. It's a pretty good draw. Maybe I'm supposed to bring in Pyro, because it kills Metamorph. Or we got forced? I guess we lose then. My bad. Jewel has force every game. Can't deal. Force and One Ring turn 1? Oh, Lodestone again. Yeah, I don't know, man. Looks bad. Looks pretty bad. I don't even have an instant. That was just something I was worried about after taking away my Flusterstorms. Why do we need to remove that from play? It does not seem like something I have to do. Can't find the cards we need, though. Our goal isn't to remove things from play, chat. Our goal is to put completely unbeatable cards into play. Whoa. The fact that our whole deck hinges on 4 show and tells is not good. Okay, so I have a sink on this Lodestone Golem. And then I could force if I want to. They have double force as Jewel. Impressive. Pitching Tinker because they don't have any blue sources. Now they just replay it, though. Yeah. Oh, they have Jewel follow-up. Sure. This was not a close match. We got completely bullied. I don't even think we have like a good way of winning this game at all. We probably need to have like null rods in the board. I mean, I guess it's just hull breachers in the board. It looks really bad. You'd have to have a full board plan though to beat this. We just simply don't have enough counter spells to play a control game, and then our only way to put a threat in play is to show and tell, which is very, very bad against them. I mean, it probably would have worked on turn 1 if they didn't have force, right? Like, I guess if they put a Lodestone Golem into play off of it, it would have stopped us. But I don't know that we're supposed to be, like, worried about Lodestone Golem out of Jewel. That doesn't seem like a very average thing for them to have. Let me just see what my top card is. Yeah, we were just not even close. Is Jewel popular enough to care? It was the single most played deck last week and the week before I think. Or it was close the other 2 weeks before. If you combine both the frog decks, the frog deck is still the most popular, but if you separate the frog decks out, Jewel was more popular than either frog deck last week. Okay, on to round 4. It looks like we might have another Jewel Shops player. This time we have a force, so that's nice. No, my opponent doesn't salt to me. I'll show it everyone. I get clap sometimes, but I don't even give any claps anymore. It's sad. Am I getting turn 1 Ancestral by Jewel? Impressive. Man, I really don't want to force this, but yeah, I'm not forcing this. My opponent has Ancient Tomb, Mana Vault, Monolith, Metamorph, Force, PO, Time Vault. Okay. So those are certainly magic cards. I guess I should have played my fetch land so I could have gotten my Thundering Falls. Flusterstorm might not have game against this hand if my opponent has 8 bajillion mana, right? They're gonna go for a PO on my turn, it looks like. Alright, well, I'm gonna go get my broken land. That gives me value for free. I'm gonna stock up though. Okay. I don't have an instant in my yard yet. Am I supposed to wait on this flow state? I don't think so. Up the storm count at least. All right, here comes PO. They have six extra mana here. I will force this pitching Omniscience. You think they have double force up? They only have 1 unknown card. That was Force of Will pitching Metamorph. So they have Force, Time Vault, and an unknown. I don't have Storm Count yet unless they double Force. They did not double Force. Trax and Pedal, I guess. Or do I think I still need another flow state? No. I want to be able to stock up next turn. Unfortunately, my opponent didn't tap this, so my Flusterstorm isn't going to do anything the rest of this game, unfortunately. So maybe I should have pitched the Fluster? No, they could have had double force there, right? They just ripped a Jewel off the top. Okay. I couldn't Flusterstorm their PO because they had 6 extra mana. Whatever. I don't like spinning for 2 more cards off of Pedal Flow State. No, I don't think that's a winning strategy. I need to like win the game. I can't just do nothing the whole time. I have to kind of hope they like take a turn off and I can just cast stock up, you know? Yeah. I was kind of hoping their last spell would have been a PO there, so I could Flusterstorm it, but that didn't work. I guess if they force my stock up here, I can at least Flusterstorm it. Yeah, these are not doing it. These are not doing it at all. We are dead. They do have a Mana Vault and a One Ring. probably not a reasonable way to think about winning. This duel matchup looks real bad. Real bad. Real bad. Tinker away the One Ring or the Mana Vault. No, they thought they pitched Tinker. Oh, that was the other match. Never mind. We don't have a lot of choices here. Are they gonna play Lattice? Defense Grid. Interesting. I mean, I tried to do that last time, but I didn't have Force of Will back up, and they had Force of Will. All right, we're deterministic here. So last time we brought in a needle for the One Ring, and we brought in Consigns. I was considering maybe bringing in Pyroblast because it can counter Metamorph and like post a Traxa show or something. So I'm gonna try that instead of like Flusterstorm. Probably want to trim on these and maybe like an island. Let's try that. Actually, I think I'd rather have access to this stupid probe so I know what the hell's going on. So I know what I'm dead to and I can concede. Yes, this is not a playable Citadel deck. So this is holding up and consign and the ability to maybe tinker on turn 2 or I guess we don't have tinker in our deck. So this is just holding open consign and then stocking up after. I mean, that's not bad. If they don't consign, I could mystical for a force and then stock up into a land and a blue card. Defense grid. Okay. I definitely want to be able to cast counter magic, so. So now we're just stocking up for a force. Jewel. Our deck can't beat Jewel. There's 2 forces. No land. We're not playing Citadel in our deck with Atraxas, Omniscience, Lorien Reveals. I don't think so. Well, I was like trimming off. I was trying to trim off color. I mean, it depends on the deck and depends on what your goals are. QCP depends on if opponents like bringing in Stony Silences and stuff. I mean, I'm gonna have to counter something with Force, unfortunately. Like, I don't think I'm beating this One Ring fast enough. They have Force backup again? I'm not sure we've played a game where our dual opponent didn't have Force backup. That's crazy work, man. Ah, I drew the show and tell. I think I'm always supposed to keep the stock up, but it's pretty brutal. I'm gonna go Lotus, stock up, rebuy. We'll just churn through our deck and get to the place where we need to be here. Or we won't. Or we just won't. or or we just won't. I guess I'm dead. That's unfortunate. Well, I have to. That's the only way my deck does anything, not me. I mean, I have to cast Show. They don't get a Vexing Bauble? Oh, they're not even going to get a Vexing Bauble. They have a ring again. Needle on what? What do we bring in Needle for? Oh, go Thief of Crowns! We're losing to someone who brought in Needle to hit our Oko Thief of Crowns, man. Just get me out of here, bro. Clap, clap. All right, here we go. Round 5. I don't have a force against Sphere Shops here, but I do have a basic and a Mox, so it seems fine. Oh, God. No force in our hand, but we've got some powerful plays. Mox. Soul Ring. Tolarian. We have those openers in our deck, too. Oh, Scrawling Crawler. I accept. Yes. Allowed. Please draw me more lands, Mr. Crawler. Please let me time walk. Oh, God. Opponent could have done anything, but instead they did nothing. Oh, and now we have a force for cards that matter. Oh, it's beautiful. So I think I'm gonna lead with Time Walk so that I can make land drops. I'm gonna go Time Walk into a flash. Maybe I'm supposed to flash and up. No, that doesn't make any sense. All right, let's flash an Atraxa. Look at my top 10 cards. I'll take an Omniscience, a Lotus Petal, a Force, an Island, and a Stock Up, I guess. So we're still missing a Show. I can cast Stock Up this turn with Petal. I probably should. We have a Mystic Tutor for a Show. So maybe I just shouldn't. I just keep my double force with these 2 cards. I do need to have a draw spell, though. I guess we technically also just got a Time Walk and a Flash into our yard, so Flow State is online. And the Scrawling Crawler will probably draw us another blue card anyways. So I think we can just cast Flow State instead. I guess I'll just take 2 blue cards. Do I need a land? Do I need blue cards? I do need blue cards. Well, we're gonna counter a Null Rod, right? Maybe I still want to land here. I don't know. I kind of think I was just supposed to take both blue cards. I drew a blue card. We're good. I think I'm more likely to draw a land than a blue card. No, I guess I'm not. I guess I'm more likely to draw a blue card than a land. So I'm supposed to just take the land. That's crazy. All right. So did the Scrawling Crawler draw them 2 cards that are good? That's the question here. They can also put in a Sphere off of our Show. And then we're like a little like hamstrung. But if we put in a Trax in, we can't really lose. So Gotta find an Atraxa after that. Scrawly the goat is going to take over the game. CRK, sometimes I wish I lived in your universe. It would be so interesting. Chalice on 2. That doesn't stop anything. Cool. Chalice on 2 resolves. I think they think I'm on Oath, so it makes sense. I understand why they named 2. They think we're on Oath, but that means they like are never gonna play a Sphere Resistance. Do I have to counter this? Not really. I have a Sink into Stupor in my deck. But I also just like don't need all these forces anyways, so I think it's just fine. I'm gonna cast Mystical Tutor. I'm gonna get a Show and Tell. I am going to cast Show and Tell. They have 1 card left in their hand to put in off of this. I have an Omniscience. They have a Workshop. All right, I will. I think I want to look at my top card first. Put a land away. Then free stock up. Hey, Atraxa stock up. That seems pretty good. I'll play an Atraxa. GG. Imagine if the Scrawling Crawler was an actual playable Magic card that I would have to counter or something, you know? All right, I'll take Omniscience. I'll take Lorien. I'll take Sink. I'll take Soul Ring and Saga and land. Wait, and oh no, that's an enchantment. Okay, I'll just take Soul Saga as my land. Done. I will draw 3. Take 3 for fun. I'll just bounce. I don't want to cast more cards. What do I have for Merchant Scrolls in my? What does that get me? There's like nothing left in my deck to Merchant Scroll for, right? I used all the instants. I can just get another force. Seems fine. Okay, let's just bounce this thing for fun, and then we'll Merchant Scroll. Just kidding. Chalice of the Void. I'll play this. I'll play this. And then I guess we're done. So yeah, if they draw exactly Caracas, that will save the game. I guess I'll play one of these Omniscience out for fun. All right. I'll just counter this. I have all these forces. Might as well, right? Oh, I had a stock up in my hand. No one told me. That's fine. Flow State. That gets countered by Chalice on 2. I mean, now we win the game through Caracas with Saga, so it doesn't actually matter, huh? So we'll cast stock up. Let's get a Traxa and a stock up, I guess. And I'll cast a stock up. And I'll get an Atraxa and a Lorien. And then I'll cast a Lorien. And I'll get a Lorien. And I'll cast this. And I'll cast this. And I'll get a Flow State and a Probe. And I'll cast this. They've got a Thorn of Amethyst in their hand. And I'll cast this. And then I'll, I don't know. None of these cards do anything anymore. I don't know. Just cast these cards. Cast this. Cast this. Ah, there's another force. That's what I was looking for. Okay. I will get rid of Flow State, Flusterstorm, Omniscience, Show and Tell. Sure. Now what? No. No. That was the second best draw in your deck, in their deck. I agree. I have won the game. Why didn't I just cast the Omniscience instead of discarding? Both of those actions are functionally identical. Both of those actions accomplish the exact same thing. We already had the City's Blessing. I'm going to bring in Tinker Portal, Hercules, and Consign, and I'm going to take out Flusterstorm, Mental Misstep, Cataxium Probe. Where'd my Mental Misstep go? Mental Misstep, Cataxium Probe. And we need the Needle for Caracas, I guess. Yay. And then... I don't know. I think Flow State's probably the worst card, right? Because Merchant Scroll can get Hercules at least. I'd still rather have Stock Up, even though it's harder to cast. Like, Stock Up is just so much stronger. What do I got? I got Tinka, Tapland, Force. Yeah, seems fine. I don't even think we need to draw an untap blue. Scrawly Crawler can draw us an untap blue. I'm in. God, I love this card. I hope everyone keeps playing it. Just Scrawly Crawler go? Oh my god. Oh, I drew Talarian Academy. Seems pretty good. The problem is, like, if I tinker, all I get is a Possess Portal. Is it even good? Like, all it does is kill Scrawly Crawler. I guess it's just fine. I'm gonna take a Time Walk turn first. Build out our mana. All right. Tinker you. Paying costs? Oh, they tried to Mind Break trap me. No. I Time Walked, friend. I will portal your Scrawly Crawler. Got him. Got him. I will keep an Omniscience on the top of my library. Don't worry, CRK. I'll reanimate the Scrawly Crawler and we'll win the game with the Scrawly Crawler. Or with the Scrawly Crawler in play. The Scrawly Crawler isn't actually going to do anything. It's a little bit of a cheerleader. It's going to just chill for us. But it'll be fun. I probably shouldn't show and tell this Omniscience, but I'm gonna do it anyways. It's probably a bad idea, but... Lodestone Golem! They got me. It's okay. They can't attack through my Scrawling Crawler. Ooh, Consigned to Memory? Seems better than Ancestral Recall when I have a Portal to Phyrexia in play. Alright, my Scrawling Crawler is going to draw cards for my opponent. Oh no, I forgot. God. I think this is called playing with your food. I believe this is called playing with your food. They can't attack. I've got a Scrawling Crawler. GG. It's okay. The Scrawling Crawler drew them mana, so now we can actually play a real game of Magic. I'm just here to make entertainment happen, okay? Patchwork Automaton. I've always wanted a Patchwork Automaton. I will cast this without paying. All right, boom. That's my Patchwork Automaton. Scrawling Crawler's still the MVP for them. Too true. Ooh, zombie Patchwork Automaton. Aw, I drew a Traxa. That ends the game. Boring. Boring. I played a real creature. Okay, I'll take Island, Saga, Stock Up, Force. Seems okay. Take another Force. Lorien revealed. I'm just gonna give my opponent the chance to Mind Break Trap me, you know? I feel like they really wanted to Mind Break Trap me. No, they don't want to Mind Break Trap me? Alright, fine. One more card for fun. Oh, they can't because of Lodestone Golem! Oh, shit. Too true. Wait, so this is... It's okay, time to beat down with Scrawly Crawly! Oh, discard Show and Tell and Flash. I'm already giving them cards with Scrawling Crawler. You can't ask for more. Look at all the Moxen they just got. Stonecoil Servant? I can reanimate that one every turn. I'm surprised my opponent didn't concede the game when turn 1 they played Scrawling Crawler. You know? I feel like the game was over the minute my opponent tapped mana and put Scrawling Crawler in play. Bro, I mean, don't worry, CRK. Scrawling Crawler is actually getting better because Sean is playing Infernal Contract. Scrawling Crawler was just ahead of its time. So now Crawler is going to be great. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. In all seriousness, I don't actually like this deck very much. And the biggest reason is because I don't know that Show and Tell Omniscience is... Show and Tell Omniscience seems like it has some big holes going on with what people are doing. Like, Show and Tell Atraxa seemed pretty reasonable, but if we only care about Show and Telling Atraxa, then we should just play Oath, right? I don't think that the problems that we faced are like unsolvable, but I don't know if they're worth it. Like, to beat Jewel, we need to really have a heavy sideboard, probably. Hull Breacher seemed like one that makes sense. Um, maybe you play null rods or something like, and a bunch of counter spells or something. But like, you can't be like so. Your inherent game plan can't be this weak to like Jewel when Jewel is the most played deck and also winning a lot. Um, so I don't like that. I don't think the Squelcher. I do think the Squelchers are nice for the perspective of we can actually play the game against some of the effects that we were facing tonight. But I really disliked like the Volcanic Island and the Thundering Falls and that kind of thing. I wish I just had like 5 basic islands. So it's really a tough push and pull. And then if you wanted to play more Squelchers and you like, it's tough to fit the island, the instance in. So then you probably aren't playing flow states. And then we're back to the old version of the OmniTell list that we tried earlier. And I wasn't like super thrilled. Like this was flow state fits into our FLS plan. Maybe that makes this strategy stronger and more resilient. And while that is somewhat true, the fact that your entire game plan is around the just 4 show and tells, which is not an easy card to resolve, is like a little problematic. And if you're like taking the time to have Flusterstorm backup or play Squelcher first, then it's like really, really tough. So yeah, that's how I feel. Like, I thought that the Tinker Portal actually was like one of the best performing things we had, but we also played a pretty polarizing matchup spread, right? We played 2 Jewel matchups where we got crushed, and then we played against Sphere Shops and Mono White where we were probably super favored both ways. Our deck is like really powerful, and those decks are not super well set up to beat what we have going on. And then I think we lucked out to get through Morsa's blue-white Lavinia thing. It just felt like it was going to be pretty tough in general. But obviously his deck has some problems inherent in itself because it just doesn't have a fast clock, right? So, but yeah, we went 3-2. We lost to Jewel twice, and I don't think that's like a huge fault of our own. Besides, well, you can blame me for not building a deck sideboard ready for Jewel in a meaningful way. I don't know if I should have known that ahead of time, maybe. But it's tough. Like if I think the cool thing I was trying to highlight in this video was this little Squelcher pivot board in plan, but we didn't really play against the decks where we wanted to play against Squelcher. We played against one deck where Squelcher was good, and I didn't even board it in the game 3 because I was like super annoyed about the getting wastelanded. So like, I think I was wrong for what it's worth. I think that was wrong. I think I was supposed to bring it in, but we only played one matchup where the Squelcher plan was good, and that cost us 4 of our 75 slots, which is like a ton. And I think if you want the Squelcher plan to be good, and it's supposed to be good against those decks, you probably do need to have the Mountain, but I wouldn't want to play the Mountain in the main. The Mountain in the main I really dislike, so you'd have to put the Mountain in the board, and then like your board is so tight. I don't think that's true, CRK, because like we didn't lack the punch to beat non-Jewel decks, and I really don't want to be playing negation in this deck when our deck doesn't it doesn't help our deck, right? It doesn't help our deck do our thing. And so like it's tough. And you can only play so many cards in your deck because you have to fit 12 slots for your combo. And then once you fit 12 slots for your combo, like how many slots do you even have as flex? It's just really tough. So yeah, I don't know. I do think it's cool and it's fun, and getting to Omniscience and Vintage is really sweet. And it's certainly closer than it's ever been in terms of like the surrounding cast. But the way the format has moved towards like void mirrors and stuff has been, that does lend me a little, makes me want to pump the brakes a little bit. It was fun though. I hope you enjoyed it. Chat seemed to have fun tonight, and we had a good stream. We had a lot of comedic and awesome timings, like the Mono White Initiative player show and telling in Light of Day, and then also the Mono White Initiative player playing a Thalia that turned off the the Void Mirror. So it was a good time. If you want to like follow this kind of deck's progression, make sure you just keep an eye out for Joel 5-0s. I know there was one somewhat recently before Flow State, so because he's a guy who's always working on this kind of strategy, which is fun. That's it for me. More vintage content on this YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you then.